The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back. Another hot episode of the Golden Boot. It's your boy Pooh Bell. Got my man Ant Petty Murphy in the building. What's good with you, my boy?
What's up with it, bro?
Hey. Good weekend. Got to watch some football. And I ain't necessarily have to stress too much over something, you know what I'm saying? When you upset minded, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about that, some of them kind of things. I'm just saying, don't about it. Y'all better be careful coming down to H-Town. Think you just gonna walk in there and walk out with a dub. Found out it was Avery Johnson's birthday, bro. And he was giving out gifts. He gave out 2 picks on the game. But we'll get to it, man. I ain't coming here just talk about that. Man. What a weekend. For real, man, to just enjoy football. I was enjoying it on Sunday, too. At least most of the games I was watching. Joe Burrow did his thing. Jamar Chase. Jane Daniels looks electric. He's on pace. He's on pace to have the highest QBR for a rookie since 2016. You know who that was?
2016?
Yep.
Oof.
Only reason I know this because I saw it on ESPN.
I don't know that.
That was a young Dakota Rain Prescott.
Okay, yeah.
He had a 78. What I say 77. Jaden has a is it 77 right now QBR. So yeah, he's chasing a young Dakota Rain. But man, we got some games to talk about. A lot of the games that we picked. Every game was good as far as like it was a close game for the most part, except for one. SMU, yeah, like that. What the kids say? Belt to ass. Yeah,
real.
It happened. Texas A&M. I know what you get. That's what you get. Got too high on yourself. Too high mighty. You ain't nobody but South Carolina. You're going to learn today. But, man, let's go ahead and get to it. First off, we got to give a shout out to our sponsor over at BetOnline. BetOnline.ag. Hold on, man. This string yard changed up. I got to find where everything else. BetOnline.ag. We will be back in 1 minute. BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your sports information, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds, lines, and player injury reports for this year's NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters. This season, we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. We have everything from NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL to golf, tennis, UFC, and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games that you can play right from your home. Head on over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Hey, we are back. First off, man, let's I talked about my weekend or the weekend looking at it. First, man, your initial thoughts on the weekend as a whole. Last weekend, rather.
It was it wasn't as chaotic as some of the weekends we've seen in earlier this season, but it was a lot of chaos, a lot of turmoil, a lot of upsets, and it wasn't the most appealing weekend in terms of big time matchups like we've seen earlier in this season and still to come, like maybe this week has. But it turned out to be a good weekend for football, whenever you factor in the amount of upsets and close games and things of that nature.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Would you prefer more chaos? Does like more chaos make it more exciting?
It does in a sense, because the team that you think gonna win don't win always. That makes it exciting to us, especially when it ain't your team. But I like a little mixture of both. Like I don't want too much chaos where it's just nobody winning that's supposed to win. But at the same time, you gotta sprinkle in a handful of them each week. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Man, first off, man, let's go ahead and jump into it. The first game, pretty much of the day, the big game. Number 4, Ohio State took on number 3, Penn State. Ohio State got the win 20-13. Just some of the stats that I'm looking at offhand. Total yardage kind of tells it all. Ohio State 358 total yards, Penn State 270. Ohio State ran 64 plays offensively versus Penn State's 53. Passing, Ohio State had 182 yards, 16 to 24 with one pick. Penn State had 150 yards, 13 to 21 with one pick. Also Ohio State had 2 touchdowns in there as well. They had 176 yards rushing on 40 attempts. Penn State, 120 yards rushing on 32 attempts. Third downs, Ohio State was 6 of 12 on third down and 1-on-1 on fourth. Penn State was only 3 of 11 and 1 of 2 on fourth down. So yeah, that was that's kind of the biggest.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that pick six early in the game, it probably wouldn't have been as close of a game as it was. Because they moved the ball early on with their first drive, got a field goal, then they get the pick six, go up 10-0 early. But they really couldn't really do much offensively after that. I mean, their leading receiver was the running back, and the leading rusher was the tight end. You know what I mean? Like they was just out there trying to manufacture offense any type of way they could. They couldn't consistently move the ball down the field. So I think the Ohio State defense is one of the best, if not the best in the country whenever they're playing to their full potential. They got NFL guys all over their field. They got 2 or 3 up front. They got a couple in the secondary. So it's hard to move the ball on them whenever they locked in. So unless you can, make a big explosive play, and that Penn State offense really just ain't built for that right now. But credit to Ohio State. They got down early. They kept their composure. They fought their way back, and probably could have won by more than they did. But they got some guys on their team, bro. The Judkins in their run game, some serious. I mean, their receivers really ain't even do nothing spectacular in Ibuka and Smith, but that running game was all they really needed.
Yeah. Penn State shot themselves in the foot like so many times. When they got down there right before half and were getting ready to score, would have went up 17-14 going into halftime, and they throw Allard throws a pass, beautiful pass, and a wide receiver literally drops it into the DB's hands, and it's caught for an interception. It's like I look at that changes the game.
Yeah, sure.
Looking at trying to see who it turned out because I thought they had a fumble as well. But it's just like I said, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at this game, and I'm like, everything I thought Penn State could do to win this game, they did it. But they also did what I know they're capable of doing, which is blowing it. So, is this more of an indication on Franklin or this team?
I mean, I can't
do
blame.
You say this is culture, or do we? You get what I'm saying? Is this culture? Or is this just like the moment got too big? They're not ready.
I think they got out coached in the second half, so that's on James Franklin. But at the end of the day, Ohio State was supposed to win this game. They're the more talented team, and year in and year out, they've been the more talented team. So it's kind of hard for me to fault James Franklin for not beating a team that's better than him. You know what I mean? Like, on paper, Ohio State is better. They were favored in Vegas. You know what I mean? Everything said Ohio State is the better team. So they lost to the team that everybody thinks is better than them. It's hard for me to be like, oh, that's a terrible coaching job. Like, yeah, they got out coached in the second half. Could he have done better? Of course. But at the same time, he wasn't supposed to win this game. So I can't fault him for not winning it.
Yeah. Who put this team together?
I mean, he did. But okay.
So, I'm just saying,
though, bro. He more talented than almost every team he playing. You talking about the most talented team in the country is Ohio State.
That's fair.
Like you faulted him for not putting together a better team than the one team that nobody has more talent than.
That's fair. I'm just saying it's. I like James Franklin.
I could see if he was losing like to a team that if he was losing to Purdue every year. You know what I'm saying? Like I could yeah. Or if he was losing to Illinois or West Virginia or somebody like that, he's literally losing to Ohio. Like that's like losing to Alabama every year. How many times Saban lost to Les lost to Saban in a row? 6.
Yeah, it was 5 or 6.
And every time we said Bama more talented than us. You know what I mean?
We also said we should be getting those players too. There's a lot of players we should have been getting.
Exactly, and it's the same situation for them. You know what I mean? So
I'm just saying we did blame Les for not being able to recruit a lot of those guys.
And I'm sure they blame James Franklin for that. You know what I mean?
That's all I'm saying.
But at the same time, it's all I can see. We're talking about like the cream of the crop in that conference. It ain't like he losing. It's the same as like losing to a Saban and Bama at the time. Ohio State just don't got natties, but they still the team year in and year out to beat in their conference.
Yeah. No, I get it, and I don't think James Franklin deserves a lot of this blame. I think he definitely deserves some blame because I think there's some there are things he should be doing to make Penn State a better team. But I think he's starting to do those things, going out and get that offense coordinator from Kansas, bringing him in. I can see Penn State starting to recruit better and stuff and getting better at talent and competing a lot more. It's not. I honestly thought Penn State would have folded against Illinois. You thought West Virginia was going to take them out. Yeah. Beginning of the season. So
they went across country and beat USC. It don't look that impressive now, but I mean, it's still ain't too many Big 12 teams traveling across country and winning, and they came from behind and did it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like they got moxie. Yeah. They got a culture of winning there. They just can't beat the one team.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man,
and it might have been different if they was playing there at night instead of a noon game.
That's very true. That's very true. Like I said, I don't look at James Franklin and just think, hey, you could do better. I mean, I do think that, hey, you could do better, but I do see that they are improving. So it's not like
I mean, man, he's beating everybody not named Michigan and Ohio State in like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty impressive, dog. I mean, yeah, it's 10-2, but at the same time, you talking about Ohio State and then Michigan, who's been to the playoffs back-to-back years. Mm-hmm. Like, that's pretty consistent to win all the games you're supposed to win. It's almost like Brian Kelly-esque. You know what I'm saying? Like, you win all the games you're supposed to win, you just can't beat a couple teams. Yeah. Whenever the other team got more talent. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. Next game of the weekend turned out to be a better game than I thought it was going to be. Probably better than it should have been. Florida taking on number 2 Georgia. Georgia ended up getting the win 34-20. Looking at the numbers, Georgia pretty much doubled up, almost 1 yard away from doubling up Florida total the offense. Georgia had 450. Say what now?
That's misleading.
Yeah, they had 455 yards, total yards. Florida had 228. It was 13 total punts in this game by 8 by Florida, 5 by Georgia. I'm just looking third downs. 4 of 11 for Georgia, 3 of 16 for Florida. Florida was also 2 of 4 on fourth downs. They both Florida was 2 for 2 in the red zone. Georgia was 4 for 4 in the red zone. Yeah.
That's misleading. All them stats misleading.
Yeah. Because it got blew open late.
DJ Lagway stay in that game, they win that game.
Yeah. What's good, Edwin? What's up? Also, what's up, Tyler? I saw you coming early.
But it went how I said it was gonna go. It was close early and Georgia blew it open late. But I just didn't know DJ Lagway was gonna be injured in the game, obviously. And if it wasn't for that, my prediction would have been wrong because I think Florida would have kept it close the whole way through. He was balling out there, bro.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something else about that too.
Georgia really ain't have no answer for him.
Yeah. The third string, I was gonna say the backup. The third string quarterback came in, and the game was still close. Georgia they got some issues. They got some stuff they got to work out.
Well, and I don't move the ball up, bro. When he came,
I know.
It was over.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I'm looking at this, and Georgia got some problems. I thought it was, okay, early season. They still working through some stuff. I don't know if they get this fixed by November. I mean, not November, late November, December.
I mean, they got Ole Miss Saturday.
I know. I'm just thinking. I don't know. I mean, I know we'll talk more about that later in the week.
Ole Miss just hung 50, so they're gonna have to. And I ain't saying that the Florida defense is terrible, but I just think that it's a that dual threat factor, bro. that Lagway brings that kills all of Kirby Saban type defenses. They just not that, and it ain't that Lagway was just out there just like carving them up or nothing like that. But he was just frustrating them, the defense, enough to make a play on a 3rd and 6. You know what I mean? To like keep the drive going. Just enough to keep the drive going every time. And I think some of them runs would have turned into, 15, 20-yard runs later in the game if they would have been able to stick with it. But I think Florida did enough in that game and so far this season to save Napier's job.
Yeah. They say Lagway is day to day, I guess, and then he may play this weekend. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see.
I don't know about that. It's a hamstring injury.
What's up? Good. What's good, Ron? We try to do Sundays, Wednesdays, for Golden Boot, and then HBCU hour was Mondays and Thursdays. We actually haven't done HBCU hour in a while. Just schedules and stuff been off. But well, you following on Facebook. It'll be Mondays, Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, 8:00. But yeah. What were we talking about? Florida. If I'm a Georgia fan, I'm concerned big time because this ain't a one-off. You've looked good. You look great against Texas, who just happened to look terrible. Texas was,
but in the second half of Alabama game, they looked good too.
I completely agree with that. I completely agree.
So it seems to me like whenever they want to play, they play. Now, offensively, that's a different story. Because offensively, I think they got some issues. Yeah. Like Carson Beck.
I don't know, bro. Maybe.
Carson Beck ain't good, dog.
With they driving record, bro, I would think they always got out to a fast start, but obviously, I was wrong there. Do speed air well. Try to hurry up and get there, and then be slow to the game. Man, I just, like I said, if I'm a Georgia fan, I've got some concerns. If I'm a Florida fan, I'm with you. Billy bought himself a little time. You might have to say, hey, maybe now that he's got Lagway, even with Mertz, he was, doing well. So,
well, I mean, you look at it like this. They kept it close against Tennessee. They beat Kentucky. They kept it close versus Georgia. Could have won that game if Lagway healthy, is what Billy Napier probably saying. So if you Napier, you're looking at him like, yeah, I know early on in the season, it wasn't right. The Miami game, A&M game was terrible, but we righted the ship. You know what I mean? We won a few games. We fought hard at some other ones and was close to pulling out some upsets. You know what I mean? Another year in the system with the guys I brought in, and Lagway with another year under his belt, and we good. You know what I mean? So I don't think they fire him. I think they keep him.
I think he got another. He got at least another year in him.
But I say this: they playing for him though.
Yeah, I completely agree. I tell you who else is team playing for him. They singing for him too. Same Beamer.
Yeah.
South Carolina, well, number 10, Texas A&M took on South Carolina in Columbia, and they left there. They left there with an extra number behind that dash. South Carolina with the big win, 44-20. belt
left with
to
a
ass.
conference loss. Oh man, they
Then there were
old
none.
Marcel Reed, bro. I feel bad for that man, bro. He got pressured on like 21 of his dropbacks. Like he was running for his life all night. And they kept showing his mama in the stands. I feel so bad for her. Like when he threw that pick in the second half, late in the game, they showed his mama in the stands. And I was just like, why y'all doing that to that woman, man? It's bad enough her baby out there playing like shit. You know what I mean? Then you want to keep showing her in the stand. But man, kudos to South Carolina defense, bro. They did what LSU couldn't. Point blank period. They found a way to bottle up their running game from A&M. And I know part of that was Le'Veon Moss getting injured early on in that game, but
yeah,
they
my heart and prayers go out to him as well too.
Yeah,
that looked nasty.
Yeah, he was having a hell of a year too. But I don't know what you say other than, South Carolina found a way to bottle that run game up and make Marcel Reed beat him throwing the football. And at the same time, they were able to run the football on Texas A&M with Rocket Sanders and they running back Lenore Sellers. But I feel like Sellers made the more plays with his arm than Marcel Reed did too at the same time. You know what I mean? He had some big throws in that game. So I feel like they just overall outplayed Texas A&M. I don't know if it was Texas A&M such an emotional win last week that it was hard for them to, get up again as a team for this game. But look at Key on TV.
I missed it. But that's what they get. So stats wise, South Carolina 530 total yards, Texas A&M 350. Both teams ran 70 plays. Passing, South Carolina had 244. Texas A&M had 206. Rushing, South Carolina 286 rushing yards. Texas A&M's 144. So yeah.
Yeah, I will pause up on that.
What's that? What do you say? Yeah. We are A&M Super Bowl. A letdown was very obvious. Yeah, I completely agree. I actually, in my picks for the week, I actually said that's one reason why I picked South Carolina. It was the petty part in there.
I gave A&M too much credit though. Well, partially Mike Elko. I felt like he wasn't gonna let his team fall for that. But then we made our picks, and then after we made our picks, I see these MFers getting rings for and I'm like, well, my pick wrong. As soon as I saw them getting rings, I knew it was over with, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I just saw it, man. I saw it coming.
Can't believe it, man. They really gave them boys rings for beating us, man. That's crazy. Actually, they're gonna hang a banner when they do it.
They had the cups, man.
Yeah, I remember the cups. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They went from cups to rings. Next year they're gonna hang a banner.
That's so crazy. That is so crazy. That's worse than UCL claiming that national championship.
Oh yeah. Way worse. It's a regular season game, bro.
At least I can follow the logic for UCF and get to where they got the.
We've seen people do what UCF did before, but
yeah,
nah, man.
That's because he can't see. They don't point it camera straight up like that, Danny. They don't point it to the.
They don't point it to the top section.
Don't nobody looking at nosebleeds. That's why they call them that.
Y'all crazy, man.
But
shout out to the girls though, man. They look pretty good, bro.
Yeah. We're gonna definitely gonna talk about them in a minute. Number 18. This was belt to ass. Number 18, Pitt took on number 20 SMU, and I feel like a big old dummy. You talk about you put too much stock in Texas A&M. I put way too much stock in the Pitt. SMU got the win 48-25. Frustrated. Eli Hosing was not having his best day.
Yeah, I figured SMU would win because I felt like they were more battle tested than Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
But I was surprised at the score. That was a little more lopsided than I expected.
Yeah. I'm looking here. I got pulling up the stats now. SMU 160 yards rushing, Pitt 103. Pitt had more passing yards and 350 to SMU's 306.
SMU ran all over them though, I thought.
Yeah, it was 160. 161 is what it's saying. Now it says 189 with 28 yards lost. So that I don't know if that was sack. I don't see it on here. Sack yardage and stuff. Sacks. Actually, they only lost. It looks like they only lost 11 yards in sacks. So
what the quarterback had rushing?
All right, hold on, pull that. 100. Hold on. Jennings. One rush, 0 yards.
Oh.
So no, I'm sorry. No. One rush, -4 yards. My bad.
So he
well, the backup had one rush for -7 yards as well. So
he did it all through the air.
306.
Impressive.
Yeah. Eli Hosing, 29 passes. I'm sorry, 29 completions, or 49 until 29 completions, 248 yards and a pick. He was sacked 3 times. Yeah. Yeah, man, I wasn't expecting this. I thought Pitt was going. I guess looking at the way SMU has been, and saying they were just a year fresh off of competing with Tulane and Army and UAB.
They hit that portal, bro.
They moved up to the ACC, which was crazy because the way they moved up, because they moved up and did not even. They're not even. Yeah, there's no money right now. It's like 10 years they won't see any money.
They don't need
it. I know. I know. So that's impressive. Rhett Lashley.
You can do that whenever you got money like that, man. Mm-hmm. But they hit that portal hard, son. They got some former Alabama players. They got all kind of, you know what I mean? They got, yeah. So I mean, I thought they would compete. I didn't think they would compete for a championship, but I thought they would be competitive in the ACC. But like Andrew said, that Miami SMU ACC title game, fireworks.
Yes. Speaking of, why do we say SMU and Miami? Because Louisville took on number 11 Clemson and got the win 33-21. That score is not as close as that game was.
Beat their ass.
that was a late push. Louisville did any and everything they wanted to in that game.
Beat they ass, boy.
Like they stole something.
That Clemson disappointed me, though. I had them in the playoff this year, but
yeah, I did too. I mean, technically they still not out of it, but
they need somebody.
They need help. Yeah,
see lose, so they need to get to the AC championship game and win somehow. I think that's their only shot. I don't see a 2-loss ACC team getting in.
Yeah. Speaking of, they was talking about this during the game. Clemson is one of only 4 teams without that a transfer has not played this season.
The other one are the service academies.
Yep. And it makes sense that they are, that they don't have transfers like that, but that's Clemson. You got to adapt.
Yeah.
You have to adapt to modern
times. The biggest problem for me for Clemson, and I know they got a freshman wide receiver there who's going to be pretty good, but like they don't have a Sammy Watkins or DeAndre Hopkins or T. Higgins or Justin Ross, Amari Rogers type. You know what I mean? They don't have explosiveness out wide, bro, except for this freshman that they got. So I mean, like, I think his name Wesco, something like that. But you can't expect a freshman to carry your team in the receiving corps. So I mean, like, he don't have the explosiveness on the perimeter to compete, in my opinion. I mean, even if you look at Louisville, I mean, they got a Colin Lacey, they got a Ja'Cory Brooks. You know what I mean? They got athletes on the perimeter, and not to mention a good running game. So
yeah,
I think to me, the biggest thing holding Clemson back is their lack of weapons at the skill position.
Yeah. You know something crazy about it? You just, because you mentioned Colin Lacey, former South Alabama wide receiver. His dad was I remember his dad when he played in high school. He was in high school at the same time. I never knew that until I was talking with some friends and they were talking about it. I was like, I never put 2 and 2 together. Never. So he got a little brother that play quarterback. I think he goes to Bama next year. That was Ryan Williams' former quarterback. So yeah. Yep. Next game, bro. Number 1 Oregon continues to roll. When they took on Michigan, got the win 38-17.
No surprise.
Not at all. I'm not surprised at all. I'm being honest, man. Michigan is doing better this year than I thought, but it's still, yeah. We talked about them being basically a borderline service academy. Say what?
I said I ain't gonna go that far.
If you look at them passing numbers versus rushing numbers,
Michigan better than we thought.
Oh, you talking about Michigan better than we thought?
I don't know about that.
No, I said no. I said they're doing better than I thought they would be doing this season.
I don't know about that.
I ain't expect them to have at this point 5 wins. I thought USC was going to be a loss. I mean, of course, that looks a lot different now.
They got exactly about as many wins as I figured they'd have. I figured they'd be 6-6.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they about. I mean, no. I mean, they got more out of their quarterback play this game, but nothing much to see here.
All right, we can move on. Next game, Duke took on My bad. Duke took on Miami. Miami got the win 53-31. This was also one of those games that was not as lopsided as the score indicates. This game
close, but Miami.
It was Duke was up on them in the beginning. Miami came back. When I actually got a chance to sit down and watch it because I was keeping up with it because I was traveling. When I actually got to sit down and watch it, the score was 32-31. Miami was up by 1, and then they scored 21 answers.
Yeah, that's why I said it was close, and then Miami put their foot on the gas and pulled away.
Yeah. Cam Ward had a good game. I don't. Let me ask this before we move on. Thoughts on the Heisman race so far? Like, where we at? Or where are you at?
Me personally, I still would give it to Genty. But I feel like the order right now is Cam Ward 1, Travis Hunter 2, Ashton Genty 3.
I see it as Travis Hunter 1, Genty 2, Cam Ward 3. No, let me take that. That's how I see it. I think the media right now is leaning Hunter, Ward, Genty. They're putting on a full-on all-out stop for Travis Hunter, and the conference is behind it now. Him showing up at was it on Fox Big Noon, or remember it was Fox or ESPN, but him being there. Whenever you ever seen a Heisman contender, you know what I'm saying, on the pregame show, like live on the show. I mean, I get it, it's his bye week, but have him live on the show pitching his case. When have you seen that?
No, I haven't, but I don't think it matters. I don't think he got the numbers to win.
I think that the fact that he has the numbers he has on both sides of the ball, I think that is what people.
But he don't really have great numbers on the defensive side of the ball.
What he got? 3 picks?
I thought he had 2 picks.
I thought he had 3. Let me look it up.
If he got 3, that's a look. Because I said if he needed 5 to win. I said he needed 1,000 yards and 5 picks.
Let's see. That's as a wide receiver, as a defensive back. Let's see where he is. Okay, so he is 20 tackles, 13 solos, 7 passes defended. He's got a forced fumble and 2 interceptions.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And then offensively, he's got 60 catches, 757 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
Yeah, he needed 1,000, at least 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns and 5 picks, in my opinion. Because Cam Ward gonna throw for 4,000 yards.
Yeah, Cam Ward is about to be the first 3,000-yard passer for Miami since like 20. I think it was like 2014, 2015, something like that.
He might throw for 5,000.
Yeah, so, I think Genty's injury is killing it's killing the race because he's
still putting up numbers though, bro.
That's the crazy part about it. He's still dropping 120, 130.
He had 181 last game.
He looks, but it's crazy. But I think he looks more human now, and that's why it's like I think that's why his name's slipping.
Yeah, that thing.
Because it's not because nothing he's doing is off. I mean, he's still putting up numbers. It's just the fact that you got Cam Ward, and who's doing what he's doing, and
Cam Ward gonna end up with 4,000 yards. So, and probably 40 touchdowns.
Yep.
And right now he's number 1 QBR in the country.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like he's gonna win it. I just feel like a quarterback gonna get it.
Yeah. Especially now that they're winning and the games aren't close. Yeah. When it was close games, it's like
Colorado.
Bless you.
If Colorado went out, that helped chances a lot because they'll never be playing in the Big 12 championship game probably. So,
yeah. Speaking of that, man, that the whole Big 12 championship got twisted up this weekend. Texas Tech beat number 11 and previously undefeated Iowa State 23-22.
Yeah, I'm glad that happened. LSU needed that.
It really was looking like two Big 12 teams had a chance to get in. Yeah. And I think technically
they might.
Iowa State takes on undefeated BYU and gets the win, then both will be, 12-1. 12-1 with
you need Kansas State to beat Iowa State when they play.
Yeah. Another one, this one was not so much a matchup wise, but what it signifies. Number 13 Indiana took on Michigan State, got the win 47-10. And I'm impressed. Signetti, congratulations, bro. Congratulations. Yeah. You Google him.
I'm starting to think they in. And if they in, you're looking at 4 Big 10 teams.
Mm-hmm. Depends.
I don't see Penn State losing another game.
They don't play Oregon, do it?
Nope. So Penn State 11-1. Indiana 11-1 if they lose to Ohio State. Or if they beat Ohio State.
I was just say if they beat
Ohio State, maybe Ohio State don't get in at 10-2. But it's gonna be hard to say you don't get in at 10-2 when the 2 teams you beat undefeated. I mean the 2 teams you lost to undefeated.
But if that's I was gonna say nope, because I was gonna say that's the only 2 good teams, but you got Penn State, and then it's like you played 3 good teams and only beat 1. So, but yeah, you're right.
You lost. I mean, the Oregon loss on the road. If the dudes slide a second earlier, you win that game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I don't know.
That's us thinking logically versus what the college football playoff will look like. Because let me ask you this: are they more willing to put in 4 Big 10 teams, or 4 SEC teams?
I think it depends on the teams.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's gonna be hard to leave out a 10-2 Ohio State team though. Well, if they only losses is by 1 point to Oregon, and let's say a 1 possession loss to Indiana or whatever, it's gonna be tough. Like you could argue that Texas, they deserve it over Texas if Texas 10-2. Because if Texas 10-2, that means they lost to Texas A&M. So who your best win? Texas. You know what I mean? My best win is Penn State. If I'm Ohio State, my best win is Penn State. What's your best win? You know what I mean? So like a 10-2 Ole Miss. Now your best win would be Georgia. Okay. That's a good win, but you also lost to Kentucky. I lost to two undefeated teams. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I could see them putting a 10-2 Ohio State team in over a 10-2 SEC team. And the thing about it is, it's probably only going to be 3 SEC teams with 1 loss that finish the season. I mean, 2 SEC teams that finish the season with 1 loss.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they all play each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if it's just Georgia and Texas, then Tennessee, who you getting in over? Ohio State? You getting in over Ohio State? With a loss to Arkansas?
Arkansas and who? Vandy?
No, I'd say the other loss would be to Georgia.
Oh yeah. I forgot they ain't played them yet. Golly.
See what I'm saying?
That could go either way. Cause shoot,
okay,
if Georgia lose, then it'll be Alabama, who maybe a 3-loss Alabama.
That's what I'm saying. If Georgia lose, their best win would be if Georgia lose to Tennessee, their best win would probably either be Ole Miss or Alabama.
No, they lost to Alabama.
No, their best win would be Texas. Their best win would be Texas.
Texas, yeah. It's get dicey.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
this is more complicated than the 4-team, bro. Playoff.
Because there's more teams that got a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we ain't even talked about the ACC possibly getting 2-3 teams in.
Yeah. I think that's out the door now. From what I was thinking.
Because Notre Dame probably getting in too at 11-1.
But that's not an ACC. I mean, I get what you're saying. ACC.
I'm just talking about spots. I'm just talking about they take a spot.
Yeah.
Miami undefeated. SMU finished the season 11-1 and lose to Miami in the ACC championship game. And then Pitt finished the season with 1 loss. Or a better one for you. Miami lose to SMU to where Miami is the non-automatic bid, but they only got 1 loss to SMU. And then Pitt only got 1 loss to SMU.
But who's their best win?
I mean, I don't know, but it's 11-1 team.
Yeah. No, that's a good one because Pitt don't have, because if they had a 1, no, they got I think Pitt got to play Clemson. SMU is one who like they got, I finna say a cakewalk, but not so much as anymore because they got like Louisville has reemerged. But they got like Boston College, Louisville, and somebody else.
Pitt finished the season with 1 loss to being SMU. Miami finished the season with 1 loss to SMU in the conference championship game, and SMU finished the season with 1 loss, but the conference champion. So they got to be in. You leaving Miami out? Whenever their only loss was in their conference championship game?
Nah, you put Miami to get in. I think Pitt would be left home.
With the only loss being to the conference champion in the regular season.
Yep. Because we've seen.
But you're gonna put in a 2-loss. But you're gonna put in a 2-loss LSU team.
Who got better wins? Pitt ain't got no good wins. That's
LSU lost to USC.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true, but I think
like what at that point, what do you say is worse? Not having a good win, which you can't control, or having a bad loss, which you can control? I can't control how good the teams on my schedule are, but I can control whether or not I lose to the teams on my schedule. So if I don't lose, but to the conference champion of my conference. How is that worse than losing to a 500 Pac-12 team, Big Ten team to start the season? I mean, it's just a different way that you value it. You know what I mean? Like it's up to
do you do how do these teams look now versus the cumulative?
That's fair. That's fair. But at the same time, I would say that LSU and Pitt lost within a week of each other. So, I mean, how they are now kind of would be the same for both teams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's you can argue it either way, you know what I mean? But I just feel like it's like too many people say, oh, if you 10-2 in the SEC, you getting in. Like, I feel like people trying to say that matter of factly a little too much.
Yeah.
Because it might be 3 teams in the SEC that's 10-2. Let's say Georgia loses to Ole Miss and beats Tennessee, and we win out. And A&M beats Texas. A&M 2 loss, Texas 2 loss, Georgia 2 loss, LSU 2 loss, Tennessee 2 loss. So all 5 of them getting in?
No, I don't think 5 get in.
But my point is,
I get what you're saying.
10-2 teams. So just because you 10-2 in the SEC don't mean you getting in.
No, I agree with that. We've said that though. Most years.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
it's still people out there saying, like in spaces and stuff like that, that 10-2 gets you in, and I don't feel like that's true. I feel like there will be 10-2 teams in. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that you guaranteed to be in at 2 losses.
I agree. That's fair. I've been saying that a lot. That's fair. No comment. But yeah. This is the last game I got for us to talk about. And gosh darn it, it was my favorite one. Number 17, Kansas State took on Houston and left out of there with a loss. 24-19. It was, I'm gonna be honest. I almost had to do what Dylan did, man. Jay, I ain't almost lie to you. I thought y'all was finna get blue-eyed. Hey, because how that game started, man, Kansas State they literally marched the ball down the field. And when they got there, I think they had one bad play, ended up having to kick a field goal, stall the drive, kick the field goal. And I was just like, yeah, it's not gonna be good because Houston came out and didn't do nothing. And then got the ball back. The second drive, Kansas State got it. They couldn't move the ball. And I was like, oh, okay, defense stepped up. Good job. And then Houston went down and scored with ease. I was like, okay, this might be something. And then Houston came back and got a field goal and was up by a touchdown. I was like, okay, this might be something. And they were driving again to score, but ended up having a strip sack. And ended up giving the ball right back, and Kansas State scored right before the half. I'm gonna tell you another point in time when I realized this one was gonna be Houston had a real good shot after Kansas State scored. They got ready to kick the extra point, and it was blocked. So they were still losing by 1. So yeah, it was like I said, it was a lot of energy in that place. Rain and everything. So it was a dope Dope game. That in beating Kansas State, that opened the door for Colorado, and there's one more team to have a chance to get in the conversation for the Big 12.
Yeah, so, I think they got a real shot.
Yeah, so Colorado literally got a real shot. That win. Congratulations to Willie Fritz and the team. They were only predicted to win 2 games in the media day. That was number 4. And they have Arizona and Baylor coming up next. And they got a real shot at getting 6 wins and getting to a bowl. They finished the season with BYU in Provo. So I don't see that necessarily happening, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I think what's most likely going to happen, they're going to win these next 2, get bowl eligible, and then it'll end up being like I don't say like a shutdown. It'll be more like a I guess that honeymoon phase. Just kind of what Texas A&M went through. And then you got to think about it, man, because I had to think about it. It was a lot of kids on this team probably hadn't had a winning season since, freshman year. Because Houston's been on the decline for a minute under Holgrimson. So,
yeah.
And even now, bro, just to see them how they are. Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up now. See what they were the last few years. Yeah, they were 4-8 last year. Year before they were 8-5. In 2021, they were 12-2, and then they were 8-5, and then 4-8. So yeah, but it was bad because they went. I'm just going through looking. 2020 3-5. 2019 they were 4-8. 2018 they were 8-5. So yeah. It's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting to see how things go going forward. And did you go by chance go to church yesterday?
Yeah, I went to church, man.
I did too, man. I'm gonna have to go more often. The Saints fired Dennis Allen today. He out of there. Him gone. Office packed up. Up out of there. Initial thoughts when you first heard it.
I thought it was one of them fake
the Ian Rappaport, the fake Ian Rappaport.
Yeah, the fake Adam Schefter knew. I thought it was that until I got the ESPN notification from the app. But I couldn't believe that they pulled the trigger in the season. I didn't think that was something that they had the cojones to do, but kudos to them for making that decision. The sooner the better. Just go ahead and cut the head off the snake now and deal with the consequences. This season is over with. Ain't no point of even trying to fight for nothing. I know the trade deadline is in a few hours, so we probably won't see it, but get rid of a few guys, fix this cap situation in the offseason, and let's embrace the rebuild, man. It's time to tear it down to the studs and build it back up.
Yeah, completely agree. I did not see this happening. When I saw it, I'm just like you. I was like, is this real? And then I immediately checked and saw the 2 point some mil followings of Rappaport. I said, man, it's real. And then I seen Shelter pop up. I said, oh yeah, it's on and popping. So I hate. I'm not trying to celebrate a man losing his job, but I wouldn't want nobody to celebrate me. But if I was terrible at my job, I'm sure people would celebrate me losing my job. I just yeah, it's time to go. I knew it was gonna be time to go yesterday. Cam Jordan and a bunch of players, started commenting. Cam Jordan was like, y'all deserve better. Somebody said, oh, that was Mike Thomas said, don't y'all couldn't y'all said it wasn't the coaching or whatever, and look at this now. So but Mike Thomas was taking shots at everybody.
He was taking shots at Derek Carr throwing them hospital balls.
Yeah.
Paul Olave gonna be like Brown in a few years if you keep playing with Derek Carr.
Dog, I told you I thought I saw Antonio Brown at the airport. Yeah. Nah, it wasn't him though. But yeah. He yeah.
Hey man, I know we're talking about football right now, but I just saw the most ridiculous score I ever seen in my life.
Talk to me.
Grambling women playing Centenary College.
Oh God, I already know this would be ugly.
The score at halftime was 91-9.
Dog, get out of here. At half?
At halftime. Centenary scored 6 points in the first quarter, 3 points in the second quarter. The final score was 131-30.
They made a run in the second half.
Yeah. Yeah, they scored a whopping 21 points in the second half.
I'm just like, you saying this, I'm like, ain't no way.
Yeah.
Golly, that is golly.
So if you took Grambling women minus 100, you cashed your ticket.
The leading score for sitting there 3 points.
That's crazy, man.
No, I'm lying. They had a girl had 9 points. What's the leading score? 9 points.
That's crazy, bro.
She had 12 turnovers by herself, bro. They had more turnovers than points. They had 41 turnovers. Get the hell out of here. That is terrible, bro.
They had 24 fouls. They almost had as many fouls as points. No, they 6 was their leading scorer.
No, there's a chick that had 9.
9 was their leading scorer. My bad.
I said chick. I'm sorry. It's a young lady had 9. My apologies. She's not a chick.
With 12 turnovers. Goodness gracious. They had 27 rebounds as a team. That is crazy, bro. Grambling had 25 steals. Boy. Paul's up crazy, man. Oh, man. I don't even want to talk about that football game, though.
Ed was taking shots. That's funny.
Oh, the Bucks beating the Chiefs right now.
Yeah, they are 17-10. NFL news, I'm just throw it out there because we ain't really. I ain't really watched too many games. Joe Burrow did his thing. Jaden did his thing.
Lamar Jackson thing.
Yeah, Lamar. Saquon in that move, my goodness. For people, all the people out there who say video games are unrealistic, I want you to watch that video and tell me somebody's not out there controlling him and hitting the circle button and he's doing circles, square.
You can't even do that on Madden, bro. If he would have tried that on Madden, he would have jumped the other way. You know what I mean? Like he would have jumped back toward his goal.
I guarantee you, it'll be on the next game. I guarantee you.
That's NFL Street too, bro. Like Madden, that's too complex for Madden, dog. Because if he, he facing the other way. So if you hit further while you facing the other way, it's gonna jump the way you facing. It ain't gonna jump backwards. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I say you can't even do it on that game, bro. That's only on NFL Street 2.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else. The Super Bowl, I'm telling you right now. I think it's going to end up being the Ravens and Detroit this year, for real, this time. I think Detroit coming out the NFC. I think the Ravens find a way to beat the Chiefs.
Ain't that the Super Bowl I called at the beginning of the season? I don't remember. I know I said Baltimore. I just don't remember who I said in the NFC. I might have said San Francisco, Baltimore, San Francisco. I think that is who I said.
Yeah, I think Detroit gonna make Detroit. 8 Mile versus the Wire. Yeah,
yeah. I can see that. Detroit looking good, man.
They are. They looking damn good. Yeah, LSU women got the win tonight. It was like a 50-point win over Eastern Kentucky. Did you see anything in there that any indication of what you think about this team?
Nope. It's a scrimmage. I mean, I know it counted, but I need to see us versus a more stiff competition.
I do think that we looked a little rusty on offense. We gotta get shooting now.
They couldn't make no shots early in the game, bro. Down low, it was missing a lot down low.
It frustrates me. The layups and stuff.
Yeah, man.
It's certain things you just have to be able to do. Make your layups is one of them.
For sure.
Speaking of women's basketball, Chicago Sky, they got a new coach. Tyler Marsh is the new head coach for the Chicago Sky. Danny said, do you think we can gain any insight on the rotations?
Nope. The whole team ain't there.
Yeah.
We still got Miracle out.
Mm-hmm. Edwin say, what's up with that fire? He's talking about Teresa Witherspoon, I'm guessing.
The GM that hired her, they didn't have a GM when they hired her, so the GM that they hired wants to bring in his or her own person as coach, so makes sense.
Yeah. Also, man, thoughts and prayers go out to Greg Popovich. He's out indefinitely with health issues. He had to leave a game early or before a game, and now the assistant coach has taken over as the He's taking over as the interim head coach in this time. So thoughts and prayers with Greg Popovich. Danny said, "You quiet about that hire." He said, "Wasn't he assistant with the Aces?"
I couldn't tell you.
I think he was. I think he was. It was either Aces or
I thought he was with the Sparks myself, but I could be wrong.
I could be wrong too. Hold on, let me.
Oh yeah, he was an Aces assistant. Shows you how much I know. I'm
not. These novice WNBA fans. I tell you.
I'm sorry that I'm not I'm not in depth with the coaching staff of the WNBA. My bad, bro.
Also, man, I know it's not necessarily sports related, but rest in power to the great Quincy Jones, man. He passed, they say, peacefully at home this past week, last night actually, amongst his family. So Quincy Jones, man, legendary producer. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of people owe their careers to that man. So, yeah, man, so major shout out to him. Produced The Wiz, the music for The Wiz, the soundtrack. Thriller, Michael Jackson's Thriller, produced that album. So, Edwin say probably the greatest producer ever. Kanye said he was the greatest producer. I was just playing. But yeah, I agree, Edwin, because his range is out of this world. So also, man, I'd be remiss if I didn't say make sure y'all get y'all behinds up and go vote tomorrow. If you don't do nothing but locally get involved civically, go vote. Go vote. You owe that much to your loved ones. So go vote. I'm not talking about who or nothing like that. Go vote. If it's something you don't like, vote on it. If they don't fix it, tell them about it. Tell them what you need. Tell them what you want done, because you can do that. That's your right. And then go vote. So, yep. What else you got for Gary? Get up out of here, man.
That's all I got, dog.
Yeah, I'm finished watching these Buccaneers take it to what's called. Man, I was lit. So, shout out to our good man AB, man. AB been shouting us out, showing us love on driving the line. Him and Coach Jonathan Coachman. So, but I was looking, man. Kansas City is a terrible cover team.
Mm-hmm.
Great team, terrible cover team.
Yep.
You can. It's almost an auto bid to pick the opposite team, unless they're playing a division opponent. They cover them.
Never bet with them. If you bet them, you got to bet money line.
Money line, yep. Parlay, teasers. So, yeah, terrible cover team.
Look like they're gonna have trouble just winning tonight, much less covering.
Yeah, they last undefeated team. So yeah, I think it's they finna have to get ready to pop that champagne. 72 Dolphins. Yeah, I know. Dog, I remember the commercial. I don't know. I think it feel like I was the only person saw it. When the Giants beat the Patriots in the Super, it was 2000. I don't know. I think it was 2007, 2008, 2007 Super Bowl. No, it was in 2008. Yeah, the 2008 Super Bowl when they beat them. There was a commercial that ran where the Giants. No, somebody Mercury Morris went to like his mailbox to get a package, and it was said, "Still the only one and it was a bottle of champagne that said "Sign the Giants." And nobody else seemed to see. Yeah, nobody else remember that commercial. It was after the Super Bowl was over, and it was like they showed. I've only seen it that one time.
Mandela effect. That ain't really happened. You just think it happened.
Well, that was a great one. Then that was excellent.
Mandela effect. Just like they tried to say, I ain't never seen Sinbad in a movie.
Everybody said, yeah. Sinbad said it never. Yeah, I've seen it too. And I remember Shazam.
That's because he was on crack and don't want to admit that he made that mess. Don't mean you're gonna sit up there and tell me that I didn't see it. The one that killed me is the Fruit of the Loom one, though.
Oh, I found it. Hold on, this is it. I think this is it.
Don't play it. We're gonna get copyrighted.
No, I ain't gonna play it on here. I'm gonna just put the thing in. Hold on, is this it? Yep. I'm finna put it on. Hold on, I gotta see if this is. I think this is it, bro. I knew I wasn't tripping, bro. Or is this just the making of it? Nope, this is it. Oh, it's a gift. Yeah, they got a football. Mercury Moore got a football, and it said a gift from the New York Giants. Enjoy if for one more year. Regards, Eli. I knew I remember this commercial. Nobody else do it, so now I'm gonna have to find that Sinbad, what's called. Yeah, you can get copyrighted for a commercial. If it ain't your work, they'll give it to you. That's the link for it though in the chat. So you can get that. Y'all do it that as you will. They show the commercial, then they show the what's called of it. But yeah, that's it, man. Go ahead and get the theme music. Y'all do us a favor. Like, share, subscribe. We'll be back later on this week. Cover the games coming up this week. We got some good ones. Like that, we out. This show was presented by betonline.ag.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on Twitter at Golden Boot. On Instagram at Golden Boot. On YouTube at The Golden Boot Pod. On Facebook at The Golden Boot Pod.
Golden Boot!